Visa waiver program, this in light of the attacks in Paris. One of the lawmakers pushing for that overhaul, House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy, who I spoke with a bit earlier today. House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy, good morning, sir, and welcome back here to America's Newsroom.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
How would this visa program, the changes you want to implement, how would it keep America safe?
Well, right now, the visa waiver program deals with 38 countries, many of them within Europe. But there's a lot of gaps and vulnerabilities because we currently have about 5,000 those who have passports in Europe in this program that have traveled to Iraq or Syria. So the gaps in there are, one, is every country have a passport that has biometrics? Are they reporting any lost or stolen passports to Interpol? Because these people are not being interviewed when they're able to come to America and stay here 90 days. And anyone who's traveled to Iraq or Syria in the last 5 years should not be able to just do the online and come to America. Those are the areas that initially we are looking at with a few others. And this is something we've been working on for a while.
Especially in light of Paris. A few things on the program right now. It allows you travel for up to 20 million visitors. 40% of all overseas visitors per year. Visitors arrive from 38 different countries that you're trying to address as well. You can stay in America without a visa for 90 days.
Exactly. And think from one perspective here, you have more than 5,000 who are in these countries that have traveled to Iraq or Syria, maybe been fighting. And one thing we found from the Paris attacks and the mastermind, the movement, the freedom of movement they had around Europe to go to Syria and back. Those are the gaps we want to be able to fill. And some of these countries don't even report lost or stolen passports to Interpol. And the only way these people only go online and come on into the country. That's wrong, and we want to make sure we correct the problem.
You know ISIS knows these rules. Now, when will it get done?
Well, we have been moving on this already, but I had a task force of the chairman of the committees for counterterrorism and homeland security. We met yesterday. We have looked at a Candace Miller bill with some other items that have already passed the committee. We're putting that together, introducing it tomorrow, and then running that bill on the floor next week.
Well,
and I think this will be a very bipartisan.
Yeah, and I think you have White House support on this as well. I guess the question is, why wait? Let's get it done.
We're getting it done. You'll see it roll out tomorrow. We've been moving this before. We applaud the White House for changing their opinion and being with us this time. You know, we dealt with the refugees. They opposed it, but we had more than 2/3 of Congress vote for it, a very bipartisan vote, to put those protections in the gaps of the refugee program as well, just a couple weeks ago.
Two more topics. President said ISIS was contained 2 weeks ago, and then Paris happened. Yesterday, his own military leaders are saying otherwise. How is that comment being viewed today?
Well, one thing, you look at the president's comment then, but look at what he said back when it was a JV team or a restart with Russia or Yemen was an example of his foreign policy. All those are failed policies. He had his Joint Chief say yesterday in committee that we have not contained ISIS. You had Carter say that he has to send ground troops, or at least 50 intel ones, into Iraq. We need a strategy to defeat ISIS, not something that could contain it, something that defeats it. And this is something that the House has been moving quite time to the president as well.
I think Ash Carter's statement yesterday was a pretty big headline. Brand new poll numbers are out of the race for 2016. Donald Trump has solidified his lead. He's gone up by 3 points. There's a story in the New York Times that says Republican establishment in Washington is near panic if Trump is the nominee. Is that true?
Look, I don't think people are in any panic. I always trust the people. But you want to look at the attributes that people are looking for in their next president. They want someone of strength. They want someone with a vision. They want an entrepreneur. They want something seeing change. I really read in that poll, what I read is Marco Rubio rising quite drastically. So I think you're going to see some new, fresh faces as we move past January in this president.
Does Rubio have your support?
I haven't endorsed anyone. I let them all compete. I want to see a clear vision for the future, and I want to see a strong foreign policy. And I want people to compete for that. And I think there's still plenty of time to make that happen.
Okay.
But I see us a real movement up.
Kevin McCarthy, thank you for your time. January will be fascinating. Thanks. From the Hill today. I'll talk to you.